Hey PMC fans, what is up? I am Noah JTRA or the Rockin Aerodactyl, and I am here with my good friend Tyler. I don't know what I said or, also goes by Phantombass, and he is also the coach of the Cleveland Escavaliers.
Hey, we living. We're finally back from the dead. What's going on, guys? This is Phantom Base. I'm your coach of the Cleveland Escavaliers, as Noah so avidly put. And we are here to rock and roll.
We are. So first off, welcome back to Season 2. We are happy to have you back.
I'm glad to be back. PMC has been it's been a blast. I really hope we can repeat last season as far as how much fun it was, and I hope I can actually do better than last season. Just saying. But
So, let's begin. So, tell those at home how you found, or in this case, got into PMC League. For those of you at home that don't know.
for you horses at home, J-Specs actually came to me with the idea of the PMC, and he and I actually started it up together. So he's the head cheese, while I'm kind of the co-cheese. I don't know, but that's kind of how PMC started for me.
Alrighty. So yes, you were the co-commissioner.
Something of that flavor, yeah.
Alrighty. And now, what are your thoughts on the PMC? Now that you've seen your little seed of your seed that grew into this PMC, what are your thoughts on it?
It's been a blast. I love it. The D League went over amazingly. Season 1 went over kind of here and there just because it's season 1, and we had a couple teams here and there that's kind of decided to be ripped for most of the season. But no, other than that, I mean, I feel like for the first season, it went off super duper well comparatively to most leagues, and I feel like it's just gonna go uphill from here. I mean, it's gonna be amazing.
Indeed. So you were in season 1, but before that, do you have any prior league experience before season 1?
Before season 1, I was in a league run by Northern Nation called the ABA. And
Alrighty.
I was also in a couple other. Mhm.
Do you want to elaborate a little more on that?
Well, in that league, I ended up going to finals and facing against Aki, who is actually in our D League right now. He is an amazing battler. Ended up losing to him in that finals match, but we just finished up season 2, where I made it to the playoffs again, but ended up losing in the semifinals. So, I mean, we got plenty of league experience, plenty of playoffs experience as well.
Alright, so you definitely have a lot of experience, and you've definitely been you've had a lot of battles under your belt. So,
Oh, yeah.
What do you think is your greatest strength when it comes to battling in this format?
In this format, I feel like one of my bigger strengths is creativity as far as building sets, and just kind of knowing and kind of understanding the synergy of my team.
Alrighty, do you care to elaborate a little more on that? Like, do you team build, obviously team build, but
Oh yeah.
obviously.
I think my biggest strength can be team building, just for the simple fact that I have sets in my mind that go, okay, this can deal with a situation that I almost can guarantee will show up, and I can I'm at a point where I can prep almost on the fly and then go back and run calcs later to adjust here and there. So, for example, there was actually in season 2 of the ABA, on a battle to Aki, I knew he was going to bring him. He brought a Perish Trap. He brought a Parasong Whirlpool Lapras to counter my Mega Sableye.
Ooh.
Well, I brought Mega Sableye with Calm Mind Power Gem, so I ended up 2-hit KOing the Lapras and being able to get out of Parasong before I was going to die. So
Nice.
I brought the prep necessary to be able to counteract any kind of strategy like that I knew would come up. But yeah, so prep is probably one of my better suits.
Alrighty, so you talked about preparation and team building, definitely one of your strengths. What about your weaknesses? Is there a specific weakness that you have going into this season?
Honestly speaking, a lot of times my biggest weakness is execution of my plans and prep. So
So So your strength is preparation, but your weakness is execution?
In particular, sometimes it tends to be in the Wi-Fi battles, not so much on Showdown. But the biggest reason for that is because once you lock in your move, you lock in your move.
Oh, that's true.
So I end up second guessing myself, and then end up either making the wrong play when I knew the right play to begin with, or I do a lot of I psych myself out is a lot of what it turns out to be.
Yeah, and I think as a fellow player, and I think a lot of people can relate to, second guessing is definitely something we all struggle with. So, you talked about team building earlier. The draft is coming up. Do you have any plans going to this draft, any strategies, anything like that?
Well. First off, we've got our captain of the squad from last season, franchised onto our squad again this season. Good old Victini's on our team. Ooh. So, I'm going to hopefully build a decent team to go around it, but I'm not going to make it so that team is the reason I built the team. But I do have a couple plans here that hopefully I can be able to pull off if I don't get sniped, which I'm sure there's sniper block. Jason sniper season 1 stole my Altaria from me. So, anything can happen.
Can you just repeat that? The Skype was a little fuzzy there.
Oh, sure. I was saying, is the entire thing?
Just like from Victini onward, it's all clear now.
Oh, okay. I plan to build a team that suits Victini well, but doesn't require Victini to be on the team in order to be successful. And yeah, I have a plan for the draft, but once again, I'm sure snipers are loaded, as J-Spec stole Mega Altaria from me season 1. But we'll see how that goes.
Yes. Yeah, sniping definitely a really big part of the draft. So, you talked about Altaria, Sableye, Victini, you mentioned some Pokemon. Let's talk about another Pokemon. What do you feel is the most overrated Pokemon in this format?
The most overrated Pokemon in this format?
Yes.
Ooh, that is honestly, I believe it's Landorus Incarnate.
Landorus Incarnate? Care to elaborate?
Well, while it does sport Sheer Force Life Orb capabilities and the monster special attacks that go with it, but at the same time, it's only base 101 speed. It is quad weak to ice, and literally Weavile just destroys the dang thing. And in order for it to be able to outspeed Weavile, you need to sash, and you lose the power of Life Orb because of that. And while its move pool is kind of great, it's still walled by a few things. For example, in season 1, when I had Mega Gardevoir as my Mega, I believe I lived a Sludge Wave from that thing and ended up killing it with Hyper Voice.
Oh wow!
So, anything with a good any bulky Pokemon, any especially bulky Pokemon, or anything that can just have a strong special attack stat, it can take. Landorus Incarnate's not as difficult to take care of as people say it is.
So you talked about Landorus Incarnate being the most overrated. Now let's do the opposite side of the spectrum. What do you feel is the most underrated Pokemon in this format?
I'm so glad you asked, because I have a few of those in mind, but I still want to say that my favorite Pokemon, I have two in mind in particular. One is Seismitoad. Seismitoad is an amazing Pokemon in League format. One, because it can be run physical or special. It gets access to Scald, it gets access to Poison Jab, Ice Punch, Earthquake, Earth Power. I mean, you name it, this thing can do a lot of stuff. The only downside to Seismitoad is it doesn't get access to Waterfall. But, I mean, it gets Aqua Tail, so that kind of makes up for that.
Yeah, it's true. You're sacrificing a little accuracy, but you get more base power, so yeah.
Yeah. Now, my only other Pokemon that I would say is probably super duper underrated that I love, I think this is probably my favorite Pokemon to use, one of my favorites to use in League format besides Victini, would have to be Alomomola.
Alomomola is
an amazing Pokemon in League format because you slap an Assault Vest on that thing and you max out a special attack. You cannot 3-hit KO it with a max special attack Tornadus Therian.
Oh wow.
And on top of that, it gets access to Mirror Coat, which is usable under the Assault Vest. So,
yeah.
On top of it being a monstrous HP stat of 165, this thing can live hits for days, and on top of that, just deal damage back. Plus, with access to priority and knockoff, and I think it's wake up slap, which is one of my favorite moves to use. But it's a surprisingly underrated Pokemon.
And with Regenerator, you can just switch it out to heal.
Exactly. You don't always need the Wish Toxic thing that people run on it a lot of times. I like to run the Assault Vest variant just because you can switch out, heal up, and
switch back in,
clear it if you need to.
Alrighty. So, yeah, very insightful. Thank you for that. I haven't heard Seismitoad yet on the underrated, so I'm hoping to see it now. So you've been in a few leagues before. You were in Season 1. Do you have any expectations for yourself going into this new season of Season 2?
Well, I wanted to do better than only getting 3 wins. So that would be ideal for me. It would be I want to make it to playoffs.
Make the playoffs. Alrighty. Playoffs usually pretty good. That seems to be the common trend with all my interviews so far. Almost everyone's like, I want to make it to playoffs. So, a few more questions. Number 1 is, do you have an inspiration or do you have a player you look up to when it comes to team building or battling?
Oh boy, when it comes to team building or battling, I mean, there's a couple people I look up to. One is I like Envy's prep and building style a lot, but and actually the person who got me into competitive battling and league format in the first place was Shady Penguin. I like the two of those people. Envy is super good as far as creativity, and props to JSpecs as well for getting me into the creative side of building. And then on top of that, also, Shady Penguin just got me into it just because of his passion.
His passion, yeah, definitely a very passionate player.
Crusader sign is in the way.
Alrighty. So just one more question. First off, thank you for your time, for coming on board for this interview. Just one last question before we end up. Who will be our Season 2 champion of the PMC?
Ooh, that is the question of the day, isn't it?
It is.
Well, I'm not going to say one way or another. I just hope it's me.
Alrighty. That's...
All right.
Sorry?
Okay, no, I'm...
What?
Nah, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I may have said something, but spoke out. Oh, well.
Alright. Anyway, guys, that should be it. Thank you for watching again. Thank you, Tyler, also known as Phantombass, the coach of the Cleveland Escavaliers, for coming on and being interviewed. Thank you for your time. And good luck. Looking forward to seeing your creative sets. I'm hoping to see Seismitoad now. Bring the Seismitoad, please, if no one else does. I just want to see it in action. Again, guys, for those viewers at home, thank you for joining us again. I am Noah JTRA, or the Rockin Aerodactyl, and again, big thank you to Tyler for joining us. Please stay tuned for the PMC content. We have interviews, we got power rankings all coming your way. And that is it, guys. Again, thank you, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.